Check, 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 check. What's going on, everybody? Here we go. Another episode of Make the Right Play. As always, it's me, Los. We got the coach across from me here. Same setup as last week. Things are a little bit different here. We have a very special guest, Mr. Eric Walton. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you.
A fellow star in Southern Village, the big movie coming out. And as always, we have you, Bowie, behind the camera, making everything work. Everything runs smoothly. He is the best. I cannot thank him enough. He's just the bomb. But guys, it's Thanksgiving week. We're on a different night. It's Monday night. Mm-hmm. Usually we're on every Wednesday night, but today we wanted to change it up because it is a holiday week.
And
Happy
I will
Thanksgiving.
be cooking.
Yes.
I will be cooking Wednesday night. I will not be doing podcasting. I'll be prepping.
Yeah, you'll be
ready.
slammed. You'll be slammed.
Yeah.
We need you in there. We can't mess around. It's a busy week.
Listen, it's Super Bowl. It's Super Bowl for mothers. It's Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
you know,
it's right there.
If you're a
Yeah, I would
mother,
agree with that.
you're cooking and you're making sure that food is coming out really good. That's your job.
It's
this
very
is Super Bowl.
It's very important. It's the most. Second most, first most, it's right there, I guess, in food holidays.
It's the number one food holiday.
Number one food holiday. You think?
Number one is Thanksgiving, for sure.
But the lasagna at Christmas is so good, though.
That's your father's favorite.
So good. It's unreal.
That's the 8-hour lasagna.
Yeah, it's fresh made. The mini meatballs. It's unbelievable. I don't know. I hope we have it this year. I know that it's up in the air. But guys, thank you guys so much for coming on Monday night. So we have a fellow star here with us, right? So we want to just have you introduce yourself, Eric. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. So what kind of got you into acting? What kind of made you want to go into this kind of profession?
I've been on the stages before playing basketball professionally, and El Rico.
Wait a minute, you played professional basketball?
I did.
Oh my gosh, this is a twist.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Man, I've been overseas. I played in the NBA, Drew League, Summer League.
Yeah.
I've been all around the world, different countries. Just been a blessing, you know? So I stopped and come back home, take care of my parents. So I kind of ended my career, but to God be the glory.
Yeah. Did you play in Puerto Rico?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
one of my good friends plays in Puerto Rico now.
I've been in Mocha.
Yeah.
You ever over Mocha?
Yep.
Yeah, I played in Mocha. Been all around the world, man. Japan was my favorite place.
Oh, really?
Japan.
My daughter is dying to go to Japan. And just on an interesting side note, you know my name Leesan is American Japanese because my great-grandfather was the first American corporate lawyer ever to work in Japan.
Wow.
So his name was James Lee. So if I was a boy, my name was going to be James.
Yep.
But I was a girl. So my parents put together, Mama-san, Papa-san,
Mm-hmm.
Leesan.
He knows. He's the first person I've ever heard been like, yeah, I know that. I know that. I've never heard that. That's just crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, so that's why I'm Leesan.
I love that culture over there, man.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man. The people are beautiful.
Oh man, I've never had an interest in like going over like to Asia and that area. That's never been my.
I've wanted to go to Asia as well.
Really?
Like that's a trip that I would like to go make. But I want to see the world. Like I'm one of those few wackadoos who actually wants to go to the Middle East. I would love to be able to. Yeah. Yes, I've always dreamed of going to the Middle East.
Like what? Like Jerusalem?
Yes, I want to see where the baby Jesus was born.
Yeah.
Like I've always dreamed of that.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted that's my favorite.
Little Bethlehem action.
Oh, that's my favorite.
That's one of my trips too.
Yeah, Israel.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a pro league in Israel.
It is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there's a pro league
in Kuwait.
Oh, really? In Kuwait?
Oh my God!
Man, these guys played. This guy's played everywhere. I know. It's really unbelievable.
Japan.
Yeah.
That's really. I honestly had no idea that he played pro basketball.
Everywhere.
Yeah, there's
What
teams
was your
everywhere.
favorite part of Puerto Rico?
The beach.
Yeah.
But
Good
the
answer,
beaches
good
are not
answer.
as nice in Puerto Rico as here.
The nightlife was cool. It was laid
Yeah.
back. It was pretty chill.
Right.
What's your favorite Puerto Rican dish?
Those
Tostones or empanadas?
the empanadas.
Ah,
and
the plátano maduros.
Plantains can go with Jamaican too.
Yeah.
Those bananas are very good.
One of our viewers was. Did you play college ball? I'd assume you played a little college ball. Where'd you go to do
San
that?
Jose State.
San Jose State.
Ventura
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I know San Jose State. They I saw them pop up the other night. They had a game. I think they play the other day. They won the other
struggle,
day.
but they holding on.
Yeah. That's awesome. How about that? That's pretty cool.
Just so you know, I have a very famous daughter, basketball player too.
Really?
She just won the Escambia County Championship for middle school, Ferry Pass. Yes. Olivia, the Lady Eagles.
Yes, she did. Yeah, Ferry Pass Middle School champ.
Lady Eagles. She's a
Escambia
She
County
loves
champion.
playing basketball. Oh my
That's
gosh,
awesome.
she loves it. Yeah.
That is cool. She's in the chat right now. She's talking. Do you know how to dunk? I think he obviously knows. He obviously knows how to dunk. He
still
played
got it a
pro
little
ball,
bit.
so I would think it's a safe assumption that he knows how to dunk the basketball. Yes, I think that's pretty safe to say that he can do that. Wow, so that's unbelievable. So you played pro basketball, and then you come back, you finish your career, you come back here. And what kind of was your MO where you were like, I'm going to try acting, I'm going to change it up and completely go a different
big
direction?
Shouts out to Rico, man, and you. You know, they was GLR back in the day. We did a lot of charity basketball games.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff in the community, and one day they came up to me and asked me about it. You know, I had no idea, but you know, when you're little, you always dream big. You know,
Yeah,
maybe one
absolutely.
day I'm gonna be on TV. Maybe one day I'm gonna be in a movie.
Yeah.
And so happened I got that opportunity through them. So
Right.
I do want to give them the due respect for approaching me and asking me, hey man, we're doing something, man.
Right.
We'd like to involve you. So I was like, cool, man, let's do it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's
So,
unbelievable.
you know,
All right, I have to know this.
All right, yeah.
Are you going to play on our team, on El Rico's basketball team, right? When we have the big retirement game?
Oh,
Rico's last game?
I may not be there. I have other
Oh,
obligations.
my
Oh,
God.
my gosh.
I know.
Let me tell
I
you, if
really
I'm on the
hope
other
you can
team
make
though, and if he walked out on the court, if
gonna be on
I'm on the other team, and I'm like, yeah, here we go, like we're gonna run it up on like JSAP and Enrico, like this is our time,
And
and
don't
then
forget
he comes out, I'd be like, what what is that? Like I'd be furious if I'm on the other team.
But I'm very competitive. I love
Yeah,
basketball,
absolutely.
man.
I'm the
Hopefully
same
we'll
way.
be on the same team, you know.
Yeah,
So
well, I'm
thank you.
doing play-by-play.
Oh, okay.
He's got
That's
me in the
awesome.
booth doing play-by-play and color. So I'm gonna be
I'll be
bringing it.
playing. I'll be hitting the court.
Yeah, you'll be on the court.
Three? Okay.
You know,
sure
hey,
you're
I got
playing?
fouled last time I missed, but I did get
It's
fouled.
You did. You were at the
I'm
line. You did go
kinda-
to the
yeah.
line at the
I had
last
fun.
event.
But
You were
Olivia
good out
scored,
there.
Like 12 points in the last game.
Well,
She had a
she's
blast.
starting. She's starting. Apparently, that's what I heard was that she's starting.
That's
But
awesome.
that's
She's so excited. Oh, I wish you could come. That would be
I know.
so
I
much
know.
fun.
it's a fun event.
That
It
would
is
be
a fun.
great.
It is pretty cool. They got the jerseys and everything. It's a fun event. Everybody has a good time.
It is.
It is
It
nice.
is a really
It
fun
is-
event.
it is very
So
cool.
don't forget, try to make it. Next Friday night is the celebrity basketball
Yes.
game. It's going to be a blast.
Where is that? The
Cobb
something
Center?
center? Cobb Center.
Yeah,
yes,
the
Cobb
Cobb
Center.
Center.
It's a historical
Okay, in
spot here
Pensacola.
Do
Okay.
you know that?
Yeah.
I think that's where I met Enrico, was the Cobb Center.
Okay.
Really? You met
Yeah.
him at the Cobb Center?
There, that's where he had his auditions.
Oh, all right.
Nice.
How about that?
Yeah,
I didn't know
and
that.
I'll never forget because my son, he was feeling a little down.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you know, they're having auditions in Pensacola for a movie. I'm like, why don't we just go? Like, let's go.
And just try it.
And we went, changed my whole life.
Yeah, it did.
Changed my whole life. And it was right around Three Kings Day, too. And I feel like Three Kings is always, and you know, playing in Puerto Rico, that's
Yeah.
like a huge holiday.
It is a big
Three
holiday,
Kings,
yeah.
it's like a big deal. So, because, you know, the Three Kings visited the baby Jesus with the Puerto Rican flag.
Yeah.
Like it's always like Puerto Ricans and Three Kings is such a huge
Right.
deal. So
So that's that's so cool. Like I didn't even realize that you played professional basketball, and now you're an actor. So now you're playing in this movie, right? And this is, you know, I've been saying this all the time that for me at least, this is Alrico's like best project so far. There's a big project, a lot of
Yes.
meaning, a lot of depth in this movie, and there's a lot of things going on.
Yeah.
And you play in my opinion, a very important character because you kind of show relationship between, you know, a civilian and a military person. And you know, so your wife is in Southern Village. She's a resident of Southern Village, and you go and visit her. And what was kind of going through your mind when you're reading into this character and becoming this character? Kind of what was your thought with the character?
Just the whole process of being supportive.
Yeah.
You know, you just never know, and this happens in everyday life.
Right.
You know, you never know what someone is going through
Yeah.
in their mind. You
Yeah.
know, and just playing this role and engaging, being a supportive husband and a supportive father, it just really put a lot of things in perspective. So it was very, man, like even with you guys, you know, seeing you guys play your different parts, it was just, it's so captivating. You know what I mean? It's real.
Yeah.
It's real life.
Oh, absolutely. It's really the truth, because you never know what the people around you are kind of going through. And one thing with your character, you came in and I obviously don't want to give away the scene. I've seen the scene. I saw you guys do the scene, so I don't want to give it away. You got to go December 8th and see it and check it out. Yeah. But like in your scene, you come in and you're a family man and you're visiting, your wife and in the facility. It's a very captivating scene, in my opinion. Like, it's very emotional. It's very strong.
Well, you know what I find? It's so amazing when you have a spouse who supports you.
Yeah.
That's winning half the battle.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So if you're battling through something and your spouse is not supporting you, it just makes it that much harder. Let's be honest. Yeah. But if you're battling something and you know that you have the love and support of a husband or a wife back at home and your children, that can make all the difference between making or breaking you.
Yeah.
You know
what?
You're
100%
prayer. Prayer.
Yes,
prayer.
Absolutely.
You got to have God-centered, in all of that, so that really helps too. Keeping the faith, just talking about
keeping the faith. Yeah. No, you're 100% right. That is really, really, really important.
I was just talking to my daughter about that last night. I said, when you commit sin or you do things, it takes you further away from your relationship with God.
Yeah.
And it's so important to stay close to God, have him next to you, and you're going to see how much better your life is going to be, because he's going to be able to guide you down the right path. But if you start to commit sin and do things that are going to ruin your relationship with God and take you further away, it's going to be a lot easier for even worse things to happen, because, you really need to have God in your life at all times. Yeah. Praying,
repenting.
Repenting,
yes. In repentance, man.
Absolutely. No, you're 100% right. And it is a good, it provides you with a good structure of how you're supposed to live your life, like it gives you those guiding values and those values that you should be upholding with everyday life. And, it is so important to have God and faith in your life. Right. I really do. I tell everybody all the time, like, just pray about it. When you're going through a situation, just pray and talk to God about it. And, that's what I've been doing a lot lately. It's been tough, but, sometimes you just got to go to prayer.
Yeah. We don't all have it all together.
Yeah.
But
absolutely.
As long as you try, he'll give the increase.
Yeah. No, absolutely. 100%. Well, I mean, listen, we're talking about giving thanks to God. We are going into Thanksgiving. This is a holiday week. This is a big time week, which is why we're doing the show on Monday. But I mean, Thanksgiving is coming up. Is there, any like Thanksgiving memories that you think of that that remind you of what Thanksgiving is supposed to be?
I remember we used to get together and go up to my dad's mom place up in Georgia, and I remember all the family would come, and I remember early morning we used to go hunting.
Yeah.
Then later on in the daytime we'll go play some football outside. They'd be in there getting ready to cut the goat up, and we done caught a deer, getting ready to skin him up.
What?
Man.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Time
out.
That's not in any of my Thanksgiving memories.
You went and got a deer and skinned the deer?
Let's play some basketball, shoot a deer, cut him off.
Skin him up.
What? I thought you ate turkey.
Look.
You didn't want to get a turkey?
Well, we had some turkey, some fresh
it's like a side turkey.
Everything was fresh.
Yes.
Everything was fresh. It was
right.
a farm
oh
up
my
that
gosh,
way.
what a blessing.
Everything was fresh.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable.
It definitely was a blessing, and grandma, aunties, my dad's brothers and sisters, they getting all the food together.
Right.
And we just running around having a good time. So, it's definitely been some great memories.
That's awesome. No, that is great. I love Thanksgiving. I really do. I mean, my favorite part of Thanksgiving, between obviously the food is unbelievable,
right?
But I mean, even just the start of the morning. I mean, I don't know. We've always grown up. We watch the Thanksgiving Day Parade, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. That's like a staple, and we watch it every morning. And then at the end, when Santa comes down the street and everybody's like excited, because it's almost like the unofficial start of Christmas season is when you see Santa Claus coming at the end and everybody's excited because like you're at the holidays, you're at the best time of the year. At least for me, I love the holidays are my favorite time of the year. So I love when Santa comes at the end. Even now, like it's the best.
And
it's my favorite.
The best is my birthday month too. So
November.
how about that?
What's your birthday?
17th.
Oh.
November
Sunday
17th?
was my birthday.
Oh,
Yes,
wow.
my
Happy birthday.
Happy
Thank
belated
you.
birthday.
I appreciate it.
That's
So,
awesome. That's fantastic.
Well, I love watching that parade, but I have to tell you, my father took us once when we were kids. It was so cold. I hated it.
Yeah.
That's all I remembered about being at that parade was freezing. And then my father went and got us like a hot chocolate. And I'm like, I go to take a sip and it's so hot that I burn my tongue. So I was like, it was the most miserable experience of my childhood. And I said, I'm never going to
Parade's
that
great
parade
on
again.
TV.
I hated it.
Parade's great on TV. I don't think I'd ever go.
But then we took
Yeah.
him one year because my sister had friends who worked at Macy's. And we actually
Right.
got to sit in the grandstands. And I was pregnant with my second son. We went running. You were about 2 years old. I don't even know if you remember.
I don't know.
The weather was so beautiful. It was like a perfect fall day. And it was very exciting. So that made up for my torment as a child.
I don't know. I like watching it on TV. I don't think I'd
I love
ever
it on
go
TV
to the Thanksgiving Day parade. I don't think I'd ever watch it.
Well, I'm busy cooking the whole time. So I have
Right,
the
we're so
parade
busy,
on
that's
and I'm
true.
prepping. And then it's like the tail end that
Yeah.
I
The-
finally...
what it was, the commentator said, well, here comes the Snoopy.
Yeah, the Snoopy's always there. He's always at that. He's always hanging out at the parade.
Everything
It's true.
they had. Yeah.
Remember what was that one year when they had like the Weebles Wobbles float and then it fell down?
Yeah, he fell
and it
down.
went into the
That
building.
was when we were live. It was
It went into the building too.
Well, no, you know who went in the building was Barney.
Yes.
Barney, the balloon crashed
Barney
right
went
into the
balloon.
building.
Yep.
It's always interesting with those balloons. Even though that last year when they were walking with the balloon people, I kind of hated it. It's like, just show us the balloons. We don't want to watch the people carrying the
Right.
balloon. Just show me the balloon. That's what I
Well,
want
I
to
mean,
watch.
it's a bit of an adventure carrying those balloons, so sometimes it's exciting
It was
seeing
almost
them.
just like a show, you know? It was
Yeah.
definitely a show.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it is sad too this year because one thing that I've noticed a little bit more recently is that a lot of families aren't actually getting together for Thanksgiving this year. Obviously with everything that's going on with the election and with, the current, I guess, political atmosphere of the nation, people, aren't coming together. And I actually, sorry about that. I on Saturday worked or I volunteer with St. Vincent de Paul, which is a society and it's all over the country. And we help low-income families and people who are struggling financially, help with, rent, utilities, things like that, and things that are important. If they need beds, if they need furniture, if they need, necessities to live. And one thing we do every year, and it's my favorite thing to do, is we do Thanksgiving dinners for the families that we help. We go and we the kids at St. Paul's Catholic school, they made baskets, and we go and hand out the baskets. And so I'm working with this woman who's a remarkable woman. She's really unbelievable.
Well, we're going to have her on the show.
We're going to have her on the show.
Her
She's
name
going
is
to come
Vivian.
on.
She's over 90 years old. She looks like she's
Wow.
60 years old. This woman does everything.
She's remarkable.
When I tell you, she has such a purpose-driven life.
Yeah.
And it's all to help other people. And she was over 90 years old, and she said, you know what? I'm alive. God still has more work for me to
That's
do.
right.
And
That's
I mean, the
right. It's
lady who
true.
gardened at the
Yeah.
church, literally gardening
Yeah.
at the church. It's 100 degrees. I can't even garden at my house. And then she is gardening at the church.
It's really
And I mean,
unbelievable.
she really is a fantastic person.
That's
awesome.
I really love this woman a lot. Like, when you meet someone and they're just so inspirational.
Yes.
And that's how it feels with Vivian.
Yeah.
So Carlos, finish telling us the story. It's just incredible.
No, she is really a remarkable person, wonderful human being inside and out. And she was telling me a story, as we were giving out these baskets and
Just
helping.
tell the story already.
I am. I'm giving context. I'm giving context. You gotta have context.
Just hurry up.
All right. Moral of the
Just tell
story:
the
her oldest
No.
daughter isn't coming for Thanksgiving because she doesn't. They don't have the same values. So that's the moral of the story. That families aren't hanging out at Thanksgiving because they don't have the same political beliefs. And
Well,
it's happening
tell
all over
it
the
the
place.
way that Vivian told it.
No, you don't want that. You want it short and
I
sweet.
didn't want
You
I
want
didn't
it
need
short
your
and
color.
sweet. Well, you
I
need the
didn't your
color.
color. I
That's
just
the
needed
point. You
to-
need the color.
All right, so he
But
goes,
you want it
Mom,
short and
Vivian,
sweet.
Vivian told me that the daughter called and said, "You're all a bunch of Trump supporters, and I'm not coming over for Thanksgiving."
Well,
And
that's what she told the oldest brother.
Oh, okay. the
She didn't
oldest
tell
brother.
Vivian that.
Oh,
she
told the older
denied
brother.
the
Oh, okay.
invitation and then told the oldest brother that
all right.
she wasn't coming because, X, Y, and Z.
Which is such a sad story. I feel like you have to put politics aside. You can't, alienate your family and your friends over politics.
That's true.
And that to me is, I feel like no
They
matter
do
what
that
you
all
think
over,
about
though.
these politicians, they're not going to bed at night worried about you.
Nope.
They're not going to be there helping you if you have a problem going
Yeah.
on in your life. It's going to be and like to have a mother. Do you know my father passed away? Carlos was about 6 years old, so he hasn't been with us for 18 years.
Yeah.
I would give anything to be able to have Thanksgiving dinner with my father and to see him again. And it's just such a shame that people are losing sight over what is the most important thing, and that's family. You know? It's God, it's your family, it's your friends.
That's true.
And I just find it's such a sad story. Like, you know, I just cut Carlos off, and he's not going to alienate me at Thanksgiving. He'll still be there.
No, we'll see. I don't know. That's still up for debate. There's a couple days we could find some other plans.
Occasion, you know, you be divided just because of politics. You know, should come together. You know, just one day out of the year, put all that to the side and come together. It's all about love. You know?
Yeah.
Well, Carlos found a clip of what he thinks it would be like at Vivian's.
Yeah, it's going to be like a lot of places, I think. Yeah, we're going to show clip 7. It's a great clip. I thought it was hilarious. Thought it was pretty funny. 7? Yeah.
Turkey's great this year.
Oh, yeah. It's almost like it's great again.
Mashed potatoes are good.
Oh, yeah, I got them for cheap. It's almost like grocery prices are going down. It's weird.
Oh, God, this is giving me gas.
We're about to get a lot more gas. Olean. His prices are going down. So who'd you vote for?
Okay, I'm leaving.
I love that. It's so funny.
Well, it's so funny because today on Twitter,
Yeah.
this guy, Frank Luntz, he works for CNBC. He said that Thanksgiving dinner is $5 cheaper this year than it was last year.
Uh-oh.
Listen to this, Eric. That he could feed a family of 10 for Thanksgiving dinner, $53.08.
Really?
$53.08. I said, I can't even feed my family of 4 for $53.08 on a Monday night unless it's pasta.
$53.08 is crazy.
Is that $53 a person for Thanksgiving? Where did he come up with this number, $53.08 for a family of 10?
I don't know where that math came from. I really don't. I you know, the more and more I think about it, it's well, who's, you know, what are you feeding people, crumbs? Like, is that like everybody gets a little crumb? Because I know I think at BJ's it was like $1.50 a pound for the turkey. So it's like, okay, so if you get, you know, a 5 pound or a 10 pound turkey or something like that, and like everybody gets like a crumb. I mean, please, we get a massive turkey and everybody eats. Like, you know, you eat. That's what you do. And the food we were giving out to people, we were giving out big baskets.
Of
like
course.
we weren't, you know, giving out like, oh, here's just a little. Like we were hooking people up. I know that those
Carlos,
baskets
maybe
weren't
Frank
$53.
Luntz is like Eric's family, where they could just go and hunt and get the food.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what it is.
Fresh food.
Fresh
Let me
food.
That's my great-grandfather always used to talk about, because
Yeah.
my family were farmers in Puerto Rico, and he used to always talk about the fresh food. He goes, I can't be like these Americans who go to the store and buy the meat in the
some fresh
supermarket.
food,
It's
right.
disgusting.
Yeah, I know.
And I know nothing else.
I love the people that hunt. I think it's cool. If you hunt, like that's awesome. I think that's super cool. It's not for me. I mean, I wouldn't say it's not for me. It's not like I wouldn't do it, but like, listen, I love just going to the grocery store and just getting a steak. Or getting, you know, whatever I need to get. Getting a chicken. I don't need to do it myself. I don't have that passion,
Listen,
I guess.
It's terrible because I have a friend who loves to go camping, and she's like, "Let's go
Nope.
camping. It'll be so much fun."
Nope.
And
You
I'm
want to
like,
go camping?
Never.
That's fun, man.
I don't think I'd ever go camping in my life.
I hear it's
Roast some
fun.
marshmallows and sit by the fire.
Sounds great. I think I'd like a hotel room better.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
I just
Try
I
it.
don't think I could get past like sleeping in the dirt.
Well,
Like,
you
I
have
don't
a
think I could do
tent with a
that.
sleeping
Yeah, you
bag.
got your sleeping bag.
Yeah, but I mean,
Pad
my
it
back
up a little
hurts.
Put you some hay down.
I mean, you know, my back hurts. I don't want to do that. It's a lot of pain.
It's like, you know what? It's like country mouse and city mouse. And
Yeah,
we're
I
like
guess,
the,
yeah.
the city mouse.
City mouse it is. I guess. I don't know. I just
I'm
it's not
like,
for
but what do
me.
I do about a hair dryer? I told her, I said,
Oh,
well, you know, I have to blow
shoot.
dry my hair. And she was just like,
Olivia Page, I gotta make homemade
better
mac
hope
and
the wind-
cheese
better
and
hope the wind
homemade
blowing.
peanut butter. What is that last
well,
part?
let me,
Oh, hold on.
I have to say, it was a big turnoff for my family in Puerto Rico.
Peanut butter
because
pie.
They were all about
Oh.
farming and having fresh food. And I remember they came to visit my grandparents once, because my grandparents came after World War II.
Yeah.
And they were like, this place is a dump. I'll never move to New York. They went right back to Ponce.
Yeah,
Well,
they
the
were
thing
out of
about farming, you know, at least you know what you're getting, what
Exactly.
you're feeding your animals. You
Yeah.
know, that's the special thing about it. You know exactly what you're eating, what you're getting.
Right. No, I mean that makes sense. I think it's cool. Like I find it fascinating. I just know, like for me, it's like I'm very spoiled. I guess I just like going to the grocery store and just getting it easy.
Well, it is.
rather
I
than
mean,
doing the work.
I have to say, when I lived in Connecticut, I did start a garden, and I would garden, and I remember it giving
Yeah.
me so much happiness spiritually, like being able to work and then watch things grow. But then when I moved to Florida, I sometimes get very depressed because I miss my plants and stuff. I'm like, it's like you really
become
do
one.
get,
Right.
yeah,
Come on with
exactly.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really the truth.
And that's life in your plant, you know.
No, that is true. Liv, I see you in there. I knew it was you when I saw you come in. I saw the homemade mac and cheese and the homemade peanut butter pie this year. I love the mac and cheese. Nobody else likes the mac and cheese. I like the mac and cheese.
Oh, it's
but
disgusting.
We don't. No, I don't get any of the support. No, she doesn't like mac and cheese. She's not a fan. She doesn't like doing it.
Some baked mac and cheese.
That's what I said. I
Oh,
love
my
good
God.
baked mac and cheese. I've always been a
No.
huge fan.
Just different.
I've always been a huge fan
What
of the
do
baked
we-
mac and cheese. I get stuffed every
Banana
year.
pudding, man.
Yeah. No, we don't do. We get the pies though. We like the pumpkin pie.
I don't
and
eat the
the-
pie either. I'm not a pie.
well, you
fan.
make that cheesecake though. It's unreal.
Oh, I forgot. Do I have to
That's
make
right.
that
Yeah,
this
you got to
year?
make that this year. We're looking for that.
That
we need it.
sounds
We need it
good.
all. She makes a homemade cheesecake. She only makes it during the holidays. It's unbelievable. It's like
Strawberries?
you're like I'm ready to die thinking about it. It's so
You're
good.
so funny.
It really is. It's so tasty. It's really good. I'll send you my recipe. Please send me a recipe. I would appreciate that.
All right,
I would
all
be
right.
all
And
about
then he
that.
can make the mac and cheese then if he likes it so much.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll work that out. Try to get that done. But coach, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. I
have
know
to
you
say,
want to move on.
On the same topic of family, right?
Yeah.
So the other day I'm flipping through TikTok. And I think that we should start showing some of this video. Let it speak for itself, and then we can comment on it.
Okay, you want to start showing some of the big video?
Yes, because
Okay.
this really, I saw this video, and then I was at church praying. And I really felt like God was like, you know what? I need you to show people this video because you have to see it to believe it.
It's a very intense video. It's
Yeah.
very, very intense.
So I say we put it on, and because
Okay.
you can't even believe it.
No, you really can't. All right, let's do it. Let's let me see here. I have the list. I think it starts at clip. I think it's clip 4. Let's try clip 4. I think that's where it starts. No, clip 3. Clip 3 it starts.
Of custody. When a parent decides
Change it up,
they're
clip 3.
unable to-
How hard is it for you to get the
voluntarily
numbers?
giving up their kids as they get older, close to being
Unbelievable.
teens or in their teen years. It is a huge problem in Virginia, specifically in our part of the Commonwealth. It's called relief of custody. Hundreds have been filed in just the past 5 years. 10 News investigates what's going on and the group working to find solutions. Thought of basically giving up your kid is,
Wow.
I can't think about that.
Right. I mean, to think of a parent being faced with the decision of how do I keep my younger kids safe? How do I keep myself safe? How do I keep the child, the teenager that I love safe? And feeling like they're failing at that. What a feeling that must be, right? That they feel like they have no choice.
But that
Okay.
All right, so
So
start it off.
this is what really got to me.
Okay.
The code word safe. How do I keep my other kids safe? How do I keep myself safe?
Yeah.
I feel like there is a strong arm of the government and people getting involved in the name of safety. That was stay home, stay safe. Get the vax, be safe. So it's all under the guise of safety. And I found it very interesting when the woman, it says, I can't even imagine. Well, yes, it's very difficult, but you have to think about keeping the siblings safe and keeping
Right.
yourself safe. And so let me ask you something. What do you think about somebody just giving up their child in the name of safety?
Just watching that and hearing that, it's just it's just sad, you know.
Yeah.
What the world is actually coming to right now, you know. Who would want to give their child up, you know, for safety?
Right.
Like, what does that mean? I'm still kind of trying to figure out. I'm trying to process, like, what does that mean?
Yeah, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, you know, the more and more I think about it and think of, you know, what like that kind of looks like. I mean, how do you even look your child in the eye and say, like, I'm turning you in or turning you over to the state? Like, that's like something that you have to deal with. Is so as a, you know, what do you just like abandon them at the house, and then all of a sudden the State Department comes and swoops them in or something like that? Like, how does it even work? I couldn't even imagine what that must be like for the child and the mental problems that that's going to cause moving forward. Thinking about how your parents just abandon you and let you go.
Like you don't throw people away. You work and you fight. And I also feel
preach that. Say that one more time for me.
You don't throw people away.
And what else do you do?
You fight.
Yeah.
You fight for your family.
No, I appreciate that. I needed to hear that one more time.
As a mother carrying a child for those 9 months, you know, like, it has to be some type of connection. Like, who would just want to just give their child over after carrying them for 9 months? That just doesn't. Something's not right mentally.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree.
But like thinking back to what you were saying before, how like your family is still so close to the land. Like my ancestors were so close to the land, right? So then we move to the city and we become more industrialized and we lose that connection with the land. How many people now, because they're not raising their own kids, like it's like almost like you're outsourcing it the minute that they're born. So many people have a kid and it's like put them right into daycare. They don't like maybe like they're starting to lose out on that bond. That once they become teenagers, do they just think, you know what, this is just too hard. I got to just hand this kid over to the state. I'm not able to do this anymore. I got to focus on my career. I have other things to focus on. I mean, I don't know, but like is that the slow evolution that's coming from women not taking their role as mother as seriously as maybe they had years before? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there because to me, this is such an absurdity that I couldn't even believe that this was a real news story.
Right. I mean, it goes both ways, you know. Just not just the mothers, the father too. Like, where's the father? You know, he has some say in this too. You know, I remember growing up. It took a village. Yeah. You know, even in the schools back then, the teacher would even try to help you.
Right.
And now, like what you said about this evolution coming, what are we really coming to? You know.
Yeah.
The end.
I agree. That was a really, really good point, I have to say, that you said. I mean, is this just like an evolution? Because it really is true. When you think about it, and how many kids nowadays, you know, they're born and then, you know, from a year old, they're right into daycare all day. They're in daycare. They're not with their parents. And then, you know, their parent comes and gets them at 5 o'clock. They're with their parents maybe 5 to 7 o'clock, 5 to 8 o'clock. And then you have to go to bed. And then it's right into the next day where you're at daycare all day again. And it's really interesting that you say that, because I can see that becoming a kind of, I guess, a repercussion of those actions, because by the time you're an adult and you're not in daycare anymore, right? Or you're a teenager and you're not in daycare, and you actually have to go home and you're by yourself, and then you deal with the parent that you really haven't dealt with for years of your childhood because you've been going to daycare or you're with a nanny all the time. And then you act out because it's like, who are you to tell me something, right? Like, you know, who are you to tell me what is right and what's wrong or what to do? Like, you haven't been around. You've been sticking me in one thing after the next.
You know, there was a show, Atlanta, that
I
I watched,
Atlanta,
and there was an episode.
Is it still airing?
I don't know if it's still airing.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I think the show ended.
But there was an episode where the kid has a West Indian nanny. So he has 2 white parents. I think they live in Brooklyn or Manhattan or something. He has a West Indian nanny. The kid has a West Indian accent, just like Barron Trump has Melania Trump's accent. Have you seen those videos? Where he's like, "Oh, I'm going to get the suitcase, Daddy. I'm going to the school now." He has Melania's accent. It's hilarious when Barron was little.
Yeah.
So you could tell that Barron is being taken care of by Melania because Barron sounds like he's from Eastern Europe and he's growing up on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan.
He does sound like he's from Eastern Europe.
Sounds just like he's from the the West Indian accent because the nanny took care of the kid all the time. Like, it was even, I think, the end of the episode, the kid has to go. No, it was picture day with parent-child. And the kid actually took the picture with the nanny.
Yeah.
And the nanny passed away, and the kid was so upset and was like, really? But it just goes to show, like what you're saying, like, are they losing the connection with the parents? So when the parent says, listen, you need to listen, you need to get in line, they're like, I'm not going to listen.
They're like,
to
kiss my ass. I go, why would I do that? That's kind of what I'm, the way that you put it and what I took from that. Like, I know a lot of kids, like, you know, younger kids that are always with nannies now and with, you know, people who are taking care of them and they're not with their parents. And I could see that being a cause and effect.
What you got to understand is little babies, they pick up a lot
Yes,
from what
absolutely.
they are around.
Yeah.
What they're being immune to, you know. So you can't fault the child, you know, you have to fault the parents.
Absolutely.
Because now they're
totally.
picking up on what they're seeing now.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you're 100% right.
It's
Absolutely. No, I think you said it perfectly. Well, let's go to the next clip. Let's go right into go right into the next clip here. So that's 5, right? I think that was 5. Accountability is
Home
top.
Community Resources. She's part of a group the state put together to try and solve the issue.
They're usually in
there's a
crisis
clip
mode.
missing
They have
between
usually
this.
tried a lot of
Was
different
that
things.
4?
They feel like they
Probably.
have no choice.
If I had the list, I
Usually,
would know.
there's a safety issue. They are either afraid of their child.
Yeah, let's go to
afraid
4.
of the choices
please.
their child is making.
Choice parents are faced with. There's an increase of parents filing for relief of custody. When a parent decides they're unable to take care of their child, they ask the court to relieve them of custody. Typically, the child would then go into foster care. Renee.
So imagine putting your child into foster care. Now, if you're taking care of your child all the time, you're not going to just want some stranger
Yep.
to just tuck your kid in at night and make sure that your kid's getting their homework done and make sure that they're doing everything that they need to be doing. How about love? How about a hug?
Yeah.
Right? How about a kiss?
Yeah.
Like, that's something to me that is just so important at the end of the day.
Communicating, you know.
Yeah.
Talk, family time.
Yeah.
It's going like this. It's getting from where we started in the middle, it's slowly going apart
Yeah.
from what we're used to.
That's one
Accustomed to,
thing.
yeah.
When the kids were little, we always had dinner together. Always.
Yeah, we did. No, that's 100% true. We did. We tried to every single night to have dinner together. You know, even when we had activities, and we would have dinner late. Like, it would be a late dinner, and that we did our best to try to keep that family time, and it's important.
That's awesome.
Absolutely, and it, you know, it establishes those values that, going back to what we were
Absolutely.
talking about at the beginning, the important values from God, and having those family values. It's very, very, very important.
It is.
And I think a lot of people now, and in our society, it's not valued as high as it once was. It really isn't. It's not valued. The family value and the importance of having the family unit and having a strong bond with your family, the importance of having a good relationship with God and living that lifestyle, it's not valued high anymore.
Let me
it's
ask
not.
you guys a question, if you don't mind. When COVID came, when you had to be 6 feet, and when you couldn't really be outside, and you couldn't really go places, and couldn't really go to school, you had to put on masks. Do you guys think that might have caused some description there? Something in the mix of all that being played in there, and then boom, now all of a sudden all this is happening.
Yeah.
Well, there was obviously like such a huge disconnection from humanity, because one thing that I told the kids immediately, I said, my grandparents were World War II people, right? My grandfather would rather be dead than to be told he couldn't hug one of his children or his grandchildren. Like, he would be like, the hell with it. I'm going to hug you, and if I die, I die, but I'm going to die hugging my children. Like, that was one thing that bothered me the entire time during COVID, was the fact how they really separated families and separated the grandparents from the grandchildren. And then one of my closest friends, she comes from a big Irish Catholic family, 6 kids, right? And her father was in a home. Her mother had passed away. Her father was in a home. And her father died after like 2 months of the lockdown. And you know what she said? She goes, Leesan, I really think my father died because he had a broken heart, not seeing me and my brothers, the grandkids. He had like 30-something grandchildren. So we went to the funeral. The funeral was in Staten Island, right in the part of the lockdown. What was it, like June or July? Maybe May, June or July?
I think it was May, actually,
Like,
because it was a little cool. It was a little cool.
So we drive to Staten Island. From Connecticut, it took us like an hour and a half because there was not one other car on the road.
I think it was quicker than that, to be honest. Yeah.
But maybe an hour and 15 minutes.
It was fast.
There was not one car on the road.
Yeah.
We get to this funeral, and I said, I have on my mask. I'm like, I'm just here to say, pay my respects really quick, and I'm going to leave. She goes, go behind the curtain. And I was like, no, I know. And she goes, just go behind the curtain. I go behind the curtain. There's over 100 people in that curtain, all partying. It's an Irish wake, and this is, a high-up guy in the fire department at FDNY. So I walk out of there, I said, Carlos, this COVID's bullshit. He goes, why? I said, because there's no way the fire department would let their family and their friends all party together if they thought we were all going to die from COVID after this funeral.
Yeah, no,
but
you're
it was
right.
a secret.
I remember.
So you like, it was a secret. Like, if you went to the funeral, you didn't know that behind this curtain you had this huge Irish wake going on. But what a shame that you had to do it after the man passed away. That while he was alive, he couldn't be with his family because it was too dangerous. And for everybody to stay safe, they needed to keep families apart.
Wow.
And keep people in isolation. And that was a big problem. That was a serious issue that I think caused a lot of big time mental issues for a lot of people who had to deal with living in isolation. And I know a lot of families that suffered because they had, a lot of things happen to them. And it's really sad. And they did not do a good job of thinking about what the long-term effects would be for those people who you kept in isolation for so long.
Right.
They didn't care about those people at all. And it wasn't right. It really was not right at all how they handled that situation. Really, you think back to it and you think back now, it's crazy.
People, that's all they had was family.
100%.
Loved ones,
100%.
My father never cried ever. And I remember once I was a little kid, I said, Dad, what would make you cry? He said, well, if you put me in a cave and told me I could never see my family again, that would probably make me cry. That's what my father told me as a kid.
And they did that.
That's what they did to so many people.
Yeah.
They literally locked them in their apartments, in their homes, and they didn't get to see their loved ones.
People didn't see, you didn't get to see your friends at school. You didn't get to see anybody that were people that you needed to see. You couldn't see any of them. It was just such an awful situation. It's crazy to think that it was 4 years ago.
You know how our family got through it. We prayed the rosary every day.
Every day, live.
Every single
live
day.
Rosary prayer.
And we would go on Facebook Live and we would have people pray with us because I'm like, we need to pray or else we're not going to get through it. And thank God we did it. We got through it. And I really believe that God delivered us to Pensacola from all that praying.
Wow, that's interesting. Olivia, something similar happened to my aunt. She passed from a brain tumor, and because of COVID, they made us separate and not, and when she passed, they said it was due to COVID. So she had a brain tumor, and then they said she died because of COVID. It's wild. It's interesting. Changing the numbers a little bit there. They did that all the time, Noah. That's wild.
I mean, please. Like they say, now, if they really did the numbers, you didn't die of COVID, you died with COVID.
Right.
There's a difference.
No, you're 100%
But I
right.
think to Eric's point is that I feel like a lot of the COVID lockdowns may have been a part of the desensitizing now, where for the term of safety, you're eager to just give your kid away. You're just like, you know what? It's probably for the best thing for my family and for safety's sake and for...
But I don't understand that mindset, though. I really don't. I don't understand how a parent can just decide, for safety or because of safety, I'm just going to turn my kid into the government. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That shows
safety is a cover for not wanting to deal with
Thank
reality.
you.
Right.
That's all that is.
Like, it's a lie to just get you out of saying you're just a bad person.
Look.
That's what I took from it.
And teenagers are tough. It's one thing when you have an adorable little 3-year-old.
Right.
And it's another thing when you have a tough teenager who's going through the change, who doesn't want to listen, who they think they know it all. And they start, it's tough. It's a very tough stage of life. But when you love your child so much, you pray even harder. I can't tell you how many times I would be home praying for my kids because it's like, I know they didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I know my husband knew it because he started working from home at the time, and I'd be there praying all day while they were at school because I'm like, please. I
know my mama prayed for me, and she's my guardian angel. I know, it's amazing to have anybody praying for you.
Yeah.
Not just your mom, your dad, but
it's
anyone
true.
that can just keep you lifted up in prayer. We need that. We deal with so much in the world, and prayer changes things.
Yeah.
So having a prayer moment, that's a bonus. It's awesome.
I agree. No, it really is a blessing to have somebody that is praying for you.
Yeah, keep
It's
covered.
protection.
Yeah, keep you covered.
It's protection. That's what it is. When you have somebody praying for you, you have, that protection of God. God's hand is always with you. That's how I always felt that. Like you have somebody that's protecting you through God and through prayer. And those people that aren't, don't have people praying for them, they're exposed to the world. They're out there defenseless to
That's
what's
why
out there.
We have to pray for them.
Yeah.
We have
Well,
to pray for them.
Daily Prayers to Save America, the book right there. We pray for the country every morning. She's praying for the country.
Everybody.
Awesome.
It's
Yeah.
true. She prayed for the entire nation every single day.
Yep, and the nations. Yeah, man.
Because, Americans, we're all Americans. Like, we're all brothers and sisters, and we love each other, and we should all be united under Christ.
We've lost that
in
too.
the body of Christ. We're all in the body of Christ.
Mm-hmm. No, you're 100% right.
It's funny because when we first saw, what was it, Empire Strikes Back, and you see Yoda, and then you see Yoda, I remember my family used to always say, that's Mama, my grandmother. Because she always was using the Force and was always praying, and every day we started, we're going to pray for this person, they're going through this struggle. We're going to pray for that person. We're going to pray. And we all say the reason why none of us have, been killed, because I know I put myself in some dangerous situations growing up in New York City.
Yeah.
It's because of Mama's prayers. Because she was like Master Yoda in the background, praying for all her children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. And she's just... And that is the most powerful thing of all.
Protected.
Yes.
It's true. It's 100% true. Well, I think it's very important because we need to start praying for, our world right now because things are starting to get very, very intense. And I know, we're talking about families. It's already intense.
We're
You're
right.
We're getting to the tipping point. The water is starting to overflow a little bit. And that's it's very, very scary what's going on. We're talking about, children getting separated. People could be getting separated forever if we go into a World War III type of situation. And I feel like we're right there. We're knocking on the door.
Gosh.
We're knocking on the door.
Well, Carlos, did you hear that the New York Times is reporting, this is the New York Times, that the Biden administration is floating around the idea to give nuclear weapons to Ukraine in the war against Russia?
Nuclear weapons. Not the long range weapons weren't good enough. We needed to go to the next stage.
And now this is the whole reason for the war, because Russia's greatest concern was that if Ukraine joined NATO, they would one day give Ukraine nuclear weapons, and that those nuclear weapons could be used against Russia. Right? That's the whole thing. So doesn't this actually prove Russia correct? And that Russia is right? Because if you're going to give Ukraine nuclear weapons, that is exactly why Russia said they had to start the war, was because they were afraid of that exact reason.
Yeah. No, you're right. And this is my take on everything. And I know it's a very unpopular take with the other side of the country. But listen, with Russia and with Eastern Europeans, I say this all the time. They act a lot on, whether or not you show them the respect that they feel that they earned and they deserve. And when you consistently, put down a country for years after years after years, eventually you're going to get pissed off. And putting a base, you already have NATO in Poland, and Poland borders Russia on one side. So when you decide I'm going to put another base 50 miles from your capital, That's a slap in the face. That's what that is. That's a slap in the face. And I can see how Putin is like, no. You're not doing that. We're not going for that.
Biden won't even talk to Putin.
No, he won't.
Nobody even wants to talk to Putin. It's like you're the dirt on the ground. We're not even going to talk to you.
We're not going to talk to you.
We don't want to hear
scum.
anything you have to say. And I mean, let's be honest. The Russians, they get no respect. Even during the Olympics.
Yeah.
They weren't allowed to compete during the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
The Palestinians had a boat.
Yeah.
The Israelis had a boat. They're killing each other over there.
Right, left and right.
But the only people who had to be locked out were the Russians.
The Russians. Yep.
Right? Make that make sense.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
They weren't allowed in the World Cup either. They couldn't compete in the World Cup. They can't compete in any worldwide ice hockey event, International Ice Hockey Federation. The Russians are famous for hockey. Like
and
that's their
what they
sport.
love is that
they
hockey.
love hockey.
They love it.
And they can't compete in anything. They can't compete in they're in talks right now to not be able to compete in the Winter Olympics next year. They can't compete in World Championships. They can't compete. The NHL did this whole Four Nations face-off. The NHL, the third amount of players from a country is the Canada, United States, and Russia.
Yeah.
Russia is not represented in the Four Nations tournament because the International Ice Hockey Federation said they can't be represented.
Your favorite player was Kovalchuk.
Kovalchuk. No, we wouldn't get to watch him.
This poor kid. We really didn't have a lot of money when the kids were little. And he
Oh,
wanted a Kovalchuk jersey so badly. So we buy him the Kovalchuk jersey. He has it for a few months. Guess what happens? They send Kovalchuk. He goes, I'm going back to Russia.
Yeah, he
And
leaves.
the Devils.
He goes back to Russia. It was the worst
my
day.
husband's from New Jersey.
It could be one of the worst days of all time. It's one of the worst days of all time. I remember that.
We
Was
were in Ocean
devastated.
City, Maryland. I still remember being in the car
It was
and hearing the
devastating.
news.
It was devastating.
Like I still
It
like
was
this
devastating.
because he was a little boy, and you know when you have like those sports heroes
Yeah.
that you just love, and it's so much fun. And
It's our cousin in Germany said that they're on alert and waiting. I see that, Natasha.
Oh
No,
my
but they
gosh,
are
that's
because
terrifying. That is
France and
terrifying.
Britain said that they're ready to send troops to Ukraine to
they're
fight
ready to send
against
troops to
the North
Ukraine.
Koreans and the Russians. And that's the escalation. There's no need to continue to escalate this conflict. There's no need to do this. It's really very simple. And the U.S., honestly, the United States has single-handedly kept this conflict going. This conflict should have been over like that.
they're not going to be happy till they destroy the
No,
whole
till we
world.
destroy
because
the whole world.
honestly,
Yeah.
there is a secret global elite group of people who are very evil
Yeah.
because they don't belong to
disgusting.
Jesus. They belong to the other side. And they don't want to see us united. And they want to see chaos, confusion, fighting. They want to see misery.
true.
Because they have so many billions and trillions of dollars invested in Ukraine that if they lose that investment, they're like, if you're going to kill somebody over $100, you're going to kill millions of people for trillions of dollars.
Yeah.
And they don't want to let go of that investment. That's what that's about.
Well, your favorite BlackRock,
Yeah, that's a big hedge
the
fund.
company
man.
that has so much money invested in this war.
So much money. And then all
It's
the crooked
just,
politicians who money launder through Ukraine.
Yeah.
So they're all desperate to try to get the last penny that they can. I mean, it's just, there's so much evil stuff going on in the world.
It's disgusting.
And this is the holiday season. You know what they should be doing, Natasha, in Germany right now? They should be putting up their Christmas tree.
Yeah.
They should be putting out the nativity set. They should be decorating the house. They should be going shopping for Christmas. They should be playing the Christmas carols.
Turning Mariah Carey right on.
Exactly.
Making some
time.
banana pudding.
Yeah,
Right.
making some banana pudding and turning on Mariah Carey. That's what you should be doing right now. But instead, we're getting ready because at any moment we could be called to war. It's really disgusting. It drives me nuts because there's such a simple solution. There really is. There's such a simple solution. It's called listen, we're not paying for this anymore. It's time to call it a day. And it would be over like that. It would be over like that. Cut the Black Sea off, and that's it. And we'd be done.
Honestly, there's such a disrespect for life.
It is a disrespect for life. It's a disrespect for life,
It's
100%.
the constant abortion. Then it's, your kids are already here. Just give them over to the state. Don't worry
Yep.
about it. It's like people don't care about the value of the soul. And that's what's at
Yes.
Christmas
That's it.
time.
Yes.
Soulless.
Yeah.
Soulless. And like you said, no respect for life. It's soulless, and it's no respect for God, and going back again to the values that you get when you live in a life with God and following Jesus. And these people don't do it, and there's no respect for those values anymore. There's zero respect. You watch the news and you listen to the teachers and to the educators now. There's no respect for those values. I don't see the type of respect. And you tell people, oh, like for us, you tell people we're Catholic, you get people that are like, oh, you're Catholic, like we'll never deal with you. We don't want to talk to you. We don't want to. It's
anybody who believes in Christ. It's like a joke. Like for these people, like they're just like, oh, some ancient religion, like you. And it's like, listen, when you have a relationship with God and you feel the Holy Spirit, there is nothing like it. And that's why every day I pray. I literally pray for the illumination of consciousness. I pray, like there are people who they're so angry and they're so upset. And I go, I'm going to pray for you. And it makes them even more angry. And I go, well, that obviously upset your spirit. Wow. And I'm going to keep praying for you. Yeah. And you know what? I believe that the prayers work.
I think you're 100% right.
I think the prayers work.
I said that the other day.
You planted a seed, and somebody else will come and water it.
Yeah. 100%. I said that the other day when we did the show after the election. I said it really feels like there was a lot of prayers answered. I did. I seriously felt like that. But it was funny you said that when that it made me think of that scene from A New Hope when they're like, "Your old sorceress ways, Lord Vader." Like, yeah, we don't respect your old sorceress ways, your ancient religion, and then he chokes him out at the table. That's what that made me think of. That whole scene. It's hilarious. I do love
that scene when he just goes, "Oh."
Yeah.
And the guy's,
I find your lack of faith disturbing. I love that. That's my favorite. That's one of my favorite scenes of all time. But anyway, we got to promote, the reason why Eric came on and joined us today. We got the big Southern Village premiere coming up next weekend. Yeah. And it's very, very exciting. So I want to make sure we show the trailer, show everybody what they're coming to see and check out on December 8th at the Pensacola Fairgrounds. Very, very important that you go and you're dressed for success, looking good.
Yes.
I'm getting it.
You have to look good. Like, don't come and look bad. Like, you have to
come on.
Make sure you have on your breast
Don't look like what I'm wearing right now.
Your hair looks good. They're going to be some handsome men, beautiful women.
Oh, well, come on. It's not like a mixer. What are you trying to do over there?
It is. You never know who you'll meet.
Come on. Well, anyway, let's show the trailer. Let's show what people should be getting excited about. Let's take a look.
Live in the studio on Joy in the Morning. We'll bring you breaking news this morning on that is sending shockwaves throughout the community on the Gulf Coast.
We're gathered here today. We're talking about PTSD and deployments and how it affected relationships and how it affected everyone's lives.
I live with the darkness inside of me that I keep suppressed under a $300 suit and a well-manicured beard. You see, the military didn't program me to be a killer. Well, because I had a psychotic stepfather who took care of that for me and my brother when he was little. I couldn't sleep. Something's pulling me in my spirit.
Did you try praying yet?
I'm a God-fearing man who believe Christ is coming back again. But I've come to realize, especially in my later years, that we have to believe that there is a life after this one. And that we all have to answer to the things that we've done here on earth.
No. God, no!
But just remember, Romans 12, verse 17 through 21. Do not repay anyone evil for evil, cuz.
Now let me ask you this. Did Nolani make you think, let me hand my daughter over to the state when she was yelling?
Yeah, I bet your character was contemplating. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, she was a handful, but she finally got it together with some prayer and a whooping. or some whooping in prayer.
You were talking about that last week, that they were like, yeah, maybe we just need to get smacked around a little bit.
Listen, that's what
you're talking about it.
It's true. Sometimes, you got to get the kids' attention. You give them a good smack, and then all of a sudden you see how fast. But you know what? It's Southern Village. It takes a village, right? And that was a perfect example. She was out of control. The Southern Village came and.
How about that?
Help getting all money.
That's what you gotta have to do. Well, Southern Village, December 8th, Pensacola Fairgrounds, red carpet movie premiere.
It's gonna be fantastic.
You guys got to make sure you're there. If you're local, get there, show up, tux, dress, looking good, ready to go. It's gonna be a wonderful event. Tons of vendors, tons of things going around. You get to meet the cast, hang out. It's gonna be a fantastic event. So make sure you get your tickets. Eventbrite.com. Get your tickets. Make sure you guys are there. It is really gonna be fantastic. But I'm very excited. We got a great couple weeks coming up. The holidays are here. The holiday season. Yeah. We're all very excited. Guys, go around. Let's real quick. What are we thankful for? Coach, we'll let you start. We'll work around the room.
All right. So I'm thankful for a lot of things. The first thing that I would say I'm thankful for is my relationship with God and for him bringing me to Pensacola and introducing me to the most wonderful people.
Yep.
The second thing, I'm so thankful for my husband. I love him so much. And I think that he has grown so much over the past year and his faith and has been willing to take some chances. And I'm really grateful for that. And I love him so much. And I want him to know how wonderful he is. I'm grateful for my 4 adorable children, even though they're older.
Oh,
I still love them. And I would never hand them over to the state. I'll just keep feeding them. And, I have to say, I'm very grateful for the fact that the election went the way it is. I'm sorry if you guys feel differently.
There we go.
But I am very happy that hopefully there's an illumination of consciousness and we can join together again and we don't have a party with war. We need to get away from the wars.
Yeah,
so
we got to get away from the wars.
That will be something that I would definitely be grateful for.
Absolutely.
So that's everything. That was a long list.
That was good. That was a good list, though. good top 4 there. What do you think, Eric?
Man, I'm thankful, man. I thank God for Jesus. My life, it's just a lot to be thankful for. I can go on and on and on, but I'm thankful, for being here. Thankful for Enrico, the community. Shout out to y'all boy, everybody in Pensacola. What's up?
Pensacola.
I'm just thankful, humbly.
Yeah.
Everything that I have been through. Has strengthened me to want to go on. You know what I mean? So I'm just thankful and grateful for everything, and we got to pray. We got to pray. We got to pray for the peace, pray for our nations, pray for the peace in Jerusalem, all of that, man.
Yeah.
So I'm just humbly thankful and grateful.
No, absolutely. I think you said it perfectly. And there's so many things to be thankful for. I mean, I'm obviously so thankful for my parents. My parents have really, helped me so much. And I'm thankful for my siblings. My siblings are wonderful. They really are. I know, it's tough, being adults and having adult relationships with your siblings. It gets hard. And, I still love them and I'm very thankful for them. I'm thankful for my whole family. My family is really just the best. So yes. I can't thank them enough and be thankful for them enough because they really are just the most wonderful people. I'm thankful for everybody here in the chat and for this podcast. This platform is awesome. I love doing this show. It's the best thing I do every week.
We have to ask Yabui, who are you thankful for?
Oh, yeah, Yabui. Who do you got?
Actually, I just have one question for EW. How was it working with Vince Vaughn and John Malkovich in Arkansas?
Oh yeah, that's right. You did work with Vince Vaughn.
It was great, man. Vince Vaughn, believe it or not, he's about my height. He's about
he's a big guy.
And
I didn't know that.
We spoke a little bit before we started doing our thing with the acting, and he actually played ball.
Yeah.
He was a basketball player.
I had no idea.
Yeah, we had a lot in common, and he's such a cool dude. Those even when I did The System, man, this with Tyrese, man, it's just been a blessing to be around people because I never know I would have be in that vicinity of, great actors and actresses, and now, you guys, we all it's just one big family, you know. So
This guy's the coolest
great,
guy
man.
ever.
It was a great experience. I enjoyed every bit of it.
He's the coolest guest. He's unbelievable. He's hanging out with Vince Vaughn. He played pro basketball. This
But you
guy's
know
amazing.
what?
To God
Eric
be the
is
glory, man.
he's
Yeah.
so humble
He's so
that
humble.
you would never know it.
You would never know.
You would never ever know
Yeah.
it. Most
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How is Vince Vaughn as a guy? Is he cool?
He's
Is
really cool.
Is he cool to hang out with?
He's very cool. We was doing our set, and he made me laugh, man. He's like, man, look at this guy coming in here looking like the next Denzel. I looked at him, and then he said something else, and I just laughed. I just bust out laughing. It comes so natural.
Yeah. He seems like just one of those guys that hanging out with, he's just naturally funny, like just to hang out with. That's so cool. I know it's so weird because sometimes like celebrities like seem really funny and seem like super awesome, and then you meet them in person and they're the worst
real cool.
people. But he seems like one of those guys that's like very down to earth, where it's like you could just have a regular conversation with him and it's fun. So that's cool. It seems like he is that type of person.
It was awesome.
That's so cool. That really is cool. Well, Coach, do you have anything kind of anything
I
else?
thought your boy was gonna tell us what he was thankful for.
Yes, I want to hear.
I don't speak too much, but I'm thankful for my family, my kids, and just being able to live my dream and work with you guys, work on the movie, just work on everything every day. So I appreciate all of you and have a happy Thanksgiving.
Awesome.
You too,
That's
and I
perfect.
appreciate your buoy.
Your
We wouldn't
buoy
be
is
doing
the
this
best.
without him.
Your buoy is the best. Shout out your
If
buoy
it wasn't
media.
for your buoy, we wouldn't have the podcast
Yeah,
right now.
it's
so.
100% true. He does a fantastic job. Everything looks great all the time. Sounds
Mm-hmm.
great. It works perfectly. We are so blessed to have you, Bowie, because he really helps us out so much.
God has really blessed us. I have to
Absolutely.
say, moving to Pensacola was like the best decision of my life, and
Yeah.
I thank God every day. I really am so grateful.
We have the beautiful beaches here. So
Oh,
The
beach
beautiful
is
beaches and the
unbelievable.
vines
Beach is so great.
and the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
Holy Spirit. is
Perfectly
strong.
said. Perfectly said. All right. Well, listen, guys. That's we're gonna wrap it up there. It's been a fantastic. Thank you so much, Eric, for coming on. We really can't thank you enough for having you come on and hanging out with us and talking with us. And guys, we'll see you guys next week. We'll be back on Wednesday next week. We won't be on Mondays. We're gonna go back to Wednesdays. This is just a one-off. But everybody have a wonderful and happy and love-filled Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a great day with your families. Go give everybody a big hug and enjoy some great family time. I hope everybody has a wonderful holiday. And we'll see you guys next week. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share us, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yes,
Thanks
like,
so much.
subscribe, share, tell your friends.
Yes, tell everybody. And don't miss December 8th, Pensacola Fairgrounds. Tickets at eventbrite.com. We'll see you there. Southern Village. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. We love you. Everybody in the
Happy
chat.
holidays.